If we wake up in 1 or 2 years, we will not recognize the world.
My biggest value is bringing people together. That ideal candidate does not exist. Recruitment is not broken, but it's not using, and it doesn't have the tools. Talking to other companies offering AI solutions for recruitment, I'm like, yes, it's going to make my life easier. It's going to take away all the noise and it will make me concentrate on the person. All of the AI I got offered was for candidate selection, candidate filtering, candidate that. But candidates are not unlimited resource. We'll start choosing CVs for us, then we will miss out the most exciting parts of candidates. Client. So, if the CVs are inefficient, let's get rid of CVs. Let's throw them out the window.
Hello everyone! Today I'm gonna talk about recruitment and AI. I have an amazing guest today. Her name is Aknur Drmolová, and she is actually the spark of the things that we are doing. Aknur is our advisor. She's my guest, and I want to ask her about her journey and about her experience with AI and her prognosis on the future. So let's go!
I'm a fan of this idea of technological singularity. The technology explodes so fast that we lose the track of understanding what is going on. Our researching capacity will be not enough to understand, to grasp the things that are happening in society first, in the technology, optimism and pessimism about it. We are in the midst of a revolution. We are in the revolution. It's happening right now.
We are.
Things will change very rapidly. If we wake up in 1 or 2 years, we will not recognize the world. Actually, I think the magnitude of the changes is similar to invention of the iPhone, for example. Do you still remember this era?
Oh yeah, of course I do. I do. But I was at the time quite late. I was not an early adopter as I consider myself now. So I found out more, like everybody was talking about it, and I was thrown into it rather than kind of acknowledging it.
So meet Aknur Drmolová, and she's an amazing mom and founder of NovaSearch. And has a very deep experience for decades in recruitment field and HR and business development management. Aknur has experience working in various fields like tech, sales. Tell me more, finance, and tell me a little bit about your journey. How did you end up as a founder, as a recruiter, as a HR manager, as a development manager?
I think it was quite organic. It was not. It's almost like with sales. You don't really always choose to be. You're born and you don't say, I'm going to be a recruiter one day. So I kind of fell into it, and so I started as an HR generalist, which just basically means onboarding, offboarding, payroll, things like this. Because I was always into humanities. I love talking to people, and I really believe that there are situations where the world can be a win-win place. The world can be a better place, and that's why I joined the HR, because I believe that I can help companies. HR is very tied by its own admin, its own rules, company rules, I'll be honest. I started doing recruitment, and I felt that from the perspective of recruitment, I was actually helping people and companies even more, because I was able to give a chance to somebody who perhaps was not able to be presented as they are because of a CV, because of something else, but also just kind of being like a liaison between this company and the people. I've been doing this for, in HR 15 years, recruitment 10 years, and at the end it's all about people. I've done, as you said, finance, sales, IT, and we'll talk about AI and technologies, but my biggest value is bringing people together who share similar views, similar chemistry together. They understand each other. Sometimes even somebody's humor is really important, and it makes the most boring job great.
So as I understand, I can consider it as the main driver of your work, matchmaking.
Yeah, match. I love to use that word. It is like matchmaking.
What's the worst part of your profession?
Well, I do hate giving rejections because it's always very personal. It's always so difficult. We have to give a reason, why not? And sometimes the reason might be that it's even not right for the candidate, but you're making a choice for them, right? So that's the part I think I dislike the most. There are parts which are more difficult, expectations from the hiring manager, if they don't align with the actual role. Positions where there are a combination of, let's say, languages, tech, experience, but that's a challenge. That's not negative, it's a challenge. I like that part.
I remember our conversations about actually broken expectations of hiring managers. And I remember there was a group of very angry hiring managers. They're very angry at recruitment in general. Tell me, why is that happening?
It's a twofold problem. You're talking to recruiters, so obviously I think we're right. It's a problem in communication, lost in translation. It's on both parts. I think sometimes the hiring managers, it's like going shopping, they have an idea in their mind, this is what I want. Almost like shopping in the old times when there were no e-shops. You went into a shop, times when you walked into the shop and there was nothing, and you just had to take what was there. So sometimes it is like that, and it sounds really ugly, but sometimes there's not a person that you made up in your mind, or like dating, there's not that ideal candidate does not exist. So you have to have an idea what you want to be accomplished and then how to accomplish that. So it's the expectations on the hiring manager side, yeah. Also what they can offer. They should be honest with themselves. Like, you should know where your company stands. But it's also so many times it can be our fault, because in recruitment, I've seen a lot of recruiters being hired without proper training, recruiters being kind of thrown into the middle of things and saying, well, just work it out. What's happening here is a big shift. LinkedIn really revolutionized hiring, I would say. And now that the companies that are hiring are using LinkedIn themselves, and using it correctly, they say, so what's your added value? And now as recruiters, we have to come up with a good answer to that. What is my added value? What makes me different from an automatic, let's say, chatbot that sends out hundreds of emails, So that communication is something that I think both parties are now working on. But it's fun to watch the drama, I'll be honest. I shouldn't be saying this on a video that will be posted.
I remember the first time we had a conversation, and I was so amazed by your hunger for new technology. You were craving for something new. And I felt this was amazing feeling, because I was like, wow, this is not really something that you can meet every day in people. People usually are more passive. They just take technology, they use them, okay, but you were something different. And I remember we started working together on Recruitment 1 project, where we tried to identify your pain, and we found one with parsing CVs. So the CVs, they are messy. CVs that tech people are producing, I've seen them. Oh my God, this is a hell. And then we had several meetings, and actually you are the spark of Hotwise, you are the spark of Recruitment 1, because our very long conversations gave me these insights to build something new, to find new problems, and these communicational problems between hiring managers and recruiters, between recruiters and candidates, and all this together that creates some kind of bad telephone, which is absolutely inefficient in the modern world. The role of the recruiter itself, as it is right now, is very inefficient, because we didn't have these technologies before. And I know you are not really agreed. You are not in.
No.
You are
Yeah.
on the opposite camp. But I must take this position. And I remember we had this conversation, and you stated that recruitment is broken. That recruitment that was a year or 2 or 3 years ago is dead. Could you please comment on that?
You know, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that I don't think that we're inefficient. We're not using the new technology to its full extent. Yeah. So at the end of the day, my goal or what my idea was not to reinvent the wheel, not to change recruitment, not to replace us with bots. And if we are, I mean, well, probably we're not that good anyway. But that human factor, that human interaction is not going to go away. For better or for worse, we are here to stay, yeah? But what I wanted is to improve that, to speed up the process, to get back to candidates faster, not to spend days on admin, not to spend days working in an ATS, applicant tracking system. And then I log on to an ATS, which I'm not gonna name, or one or two of them that I'm not gonna name, and they are prehistoric. Recruitment is not broken, but it's not using, and it doesn't have the tools that it needs. And before I talk to you, actually, and I think when I talked to you, and then when I started talking to other companies offering AI solutions for recruitment, which is, I'm like, yes, it's going to make my life easier. It's going to take away all the noise, and it will make me concentrate on the person, which I'm here to do. All of the AI I got offered was for candidate selection, candidate filtering, candidate that. But candidates are not unlimited resource. You don't go like mining for candidates. What I was looking for, and that's why it was so exciting talking to you, is a tool that would just enhance the conversation, that would speed up the conversation, that would help not just me, but maybe even the candidate and the client. So, you know, if the CVs are inefficient, let's get rid of CVs. Let's throw them out of the window. But we need something in the place of CVs, right? And I'm one of those people. I'm in camp positivity. I really think that AI and tech can make not just our life easier, not just recruiters, but also for the candidates and also for the hiring managers. So how do we use technology to erase the noise, and how do we use technology in order to translate better to each other?
You know, I've seen so many podcasts, so many bloggers, so many trainings, and for HR and recruiters, surprised how to use ChatGPT, how to use ChatGPT to automate some kind of process. But ChatGPT is not a recruitment tool. Is not a tool for HR. Absolutely. I understand that ChatGPT is much better than having nothing. The article that I want to discuss with you today is the article named "For years, tech firms were fighting a war for talents. Now they are waging war on talents." So the author is Ross Pettit. He gives quite a nice historical overview. So at this COVID pandemic time, when it was very painful for many business sectors, but not for IT. IT was blooming because everybody went on distance learning, distance working. After COVID, we faced this recession, quite a pre-crisis period, when where investors start to ask for returns, not on the growth. And it impacts the whole industry quite hard. What do you think this shift from growth to cost cutting, how will it affect on the recruitment landscape, on the approaches that recruiters use in order to hire someone?
That's a great question. And people are being more picky. You know, it's a little bit more difficult. For example, if I have a junior developer, he or she is less likely to get a job now, or less likely to get a job fast.
Quite recently, I met a post on LinkedIn, and the lady was recommending not really read deeper into JD, job description, but just apply and try your luck. What do you think about? Is it a useful strategy?
No. Like, I think if it was pre-COVID, I think it's like 2019, I'd be like, yeah, if they say 2 years of software experience and you only have half a year, go for it. It doesn't work today, unfortunately. No, we do read your CVs. Don't lie as well, because they are checkups. There is one thing I have to say for women, though. A lot of the times, at least statistics show that women tend to underestimate themselves. So they want to be able to fill every single line in the job description. Usually, JDs are written by somebody smart. Not always. I mean, if the JD doesn't make sense,
we will change it with PhoneWise, actually.
My husband once, like, I talked about JDs and I laughed at one JD and I went, oh my God, this is crazy. That's not what they want. And I think I might have even applied. And he said, why are you applying to a company that cannot even post JDs? And I said, well, they're not a recruitment agency. They are just a company that needed somebody, didn't think about it, downloaded something from Google probably, and posted it because they were, in a rush.
We in PhoneWise, we made quite a big research on recruitment, and one of the biggest problems that we highlighted for some roles, not all the roles, that hiring managers receive 700 CVs in 2 weeks, and the most of them are not fitting the initial JD, and they have to come through all these CVs manually and find those who are actually matching, which takes weeks. So actually, this is one of the problems that we also trying to tackle in PhoneWise. Another news that I want to discuss with you is a fake CV lands top engineer in jail for 15 years. So the short history, the guy faked his CV and applied to state railway company and got a very high position. So he wrote his PhD and so on, and got a salary like $150,000 per year.
Yeah.
Quite a nice salary.
Oh yeah.
He got a sentence for 15 years because of these lies.
I didn't know it was. Honestly, it might sound really stupid and I shouldn't be saying this, but I didn't know it was against I didn't know it can land you in jail. Okay, I'm going to be a devil's advocate and I'll let you speak in a minute, yeah? If the person is good at what they do, right? But they don't have the degree for it, but they are in a job, they're there for half a year, they got good results. So it's two things. Either your expectations are silly, or that job is really silly. I'm not mad at that.
How often do you meet lies in CVs?
Not that often, not as often as you would think. Not often at all. But again, since that person was really good at their job, if you were asking for a university degree for a sales role, let's say, or for an SDR, like the sales representative, you're just silly. If you're asking for a university diploma for IT, you're silly.
Two more articles. They're not really relevant to recruitment and labor market. AI checkers forcing kids to write like a robot to avoid being called a robot. So the thing is, in universities, some universities, they employ AI checkers. So they're trying to identify if students use ChatGPT or any other AI tools. And this is actually already shown impact on creativity. So sometimes children that use complicated, very sophisticated words, they got detected as a AI. Okay. So, and children are forced to actually write very simple with mistakes.
Yeah.
Another news is kids who use ChatGPT as a study assistant do worse on tests.
Okay.
So, and this is actually what was expected. in general that ChatGPT got a negative impact on studying process.
No.
So
No.
no.
No. I mean, the first one, if your essay can be written by ChatGPT, which is not going anywhere, even if we all say it's a bad tool, if your assignment can be solved by a bot, then you should change the assignment. Change it. Tell students to use it and use that bot, use that tool to do something completely different. And about cheating or doing worse on tests, then your test sucks.
One of the point is that the students feel overconfidence. So using ChatGPT, for example, they feel that they're doing well.
Well, let them think they're doing well. Change your test, for God's sake.
Okay.
Let them feel confident. Let them feel cocky. Let them feel like the whole world is at their fingers, and change the system. Also, if a company makes you do a test without using Google or what am I gonna sit in a bunker?
Look, I guess one of the problems is that we mentioned in the beginning, signs of tech singularity, that our system, educational system in this context, is not really here. Is somewhere in the past. The faster technology will change themselves, the bigger the gap that can be between institutionalized processes and technological processes. If, for example, AI will impact recruitment in a negative way, in which way you think that could be?
What I think will happen is that when bots will start choosing CVs for us, then we will miss out on the most exciting parts of candidates. I'm afraid that a lot of really, really great candidates might be missed. I'm afraid that we're going to not give chances to those that might have been those sparks at the company.
This was my pleasure, as usual, to interview you, to ask these questions and get these answers, because it's so deep, I would say. It's so deep, and I really like your hunger for something new, for changes. At the same time, keeping in mind that we are all humans and there must be something in between technology and process.
The progress we make into technological world are like jumpy. So it's not a line. It's like huge jumps. And I agree with you that right now we're at a start, I think, of a huge jump, even more than we were at the times of smartphones. Let's catch up in our line of business. Let's use it to our advantage because it's here.
So that was Aknur Drmolová, amazing experienced recruiter, HR, mom and founder of NovaSearch. And yeah, I guess that's all. Thank you for today.
Thank you as well, Henry. It was lovely as always.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye, Henry. Have a lovely day.
You too.
Bye.